Hey everyone, Woodstock and Fourleaf in the camera in front of me. So today we are going to be going over my Airsoft AKM and we'll be taking it out back to compare it with Fourleaf's M16A1. Now to get started, both of these are CYMA products. I ordered this from Swit Airsoft. They are a vendor based out of Taiwan that specializes in historic pieces, particularly Cold War and World War II. All right. So yeah, it's got a muzzle brake here, which is supposed to be sort of slanted like this, and you can replace this with a one that's actually colored black that matches the rest of the gun. You can get it from e-bike for probably about like $5. And oh yes, so these magazines here, these are compatible with any Tokyo Marui type mags, so I think that includes like your CYMAs, pretty much anything I think except for G&G if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong on that, but just Tokyo Marui type. These are CYMAs right here, mid caps. I personally recommend the steel banana mags for these. For one, they're historically accurate to the AKM, but also if you were to use an AKM an AK-74 mag, as I'm about to demonstrate, it's a little wobbly. So engage the mag release here, set this aside, and let's try this. A little tricky, but it works. To anybody who actually knows the difference between an AKM and an AK-74, this might frustrate them, but it works. So don't fret if you have one of these, but again, a little more wobbly than the steel stuff, so if you can, just get the steels. So going forward with this, if we get into the actual specs of the rifle here, it comes with a version 3 gearbox, adjustable hop-up, and a short type motor. That stuff isn't really changed too much by Swit, but because Swit, they are known for pre-upgrading stuff, and this is one of those pre-upgraded products. So what they actually do have is a TNT S Plus barrel. I think it's just got a little more accurate. In addition to that, it also has TNT T-hop-up bucking. I'm not really the most well-versed with tech, so I can't really say I know what that means, but I can say this. It does shoot like a laser if you know how to aim, or if you just do aim at all. I'm not that guy because my goggles are always fogging up on me. Rookie mistake, buy decent goggles. And then it just has some gear cleaning and some shining. I think they did a little more on the wood furniture itself to make it look nice. Mine's already starting to get a little beat up from use in the field, but still beautiful in my opinion. And that about wraps it up for the rifle itself. So I think we're going to take this out back and we're going to compare it with Fourleaf's stock M16A1, which is also a CYMA. Alright, so now that we're out here, just some other basic housekeeping about this weapon. So for one, this is the fire selector. In this position, it's in safe. Middle, this is what trips up a lot of people not familiar with AK platforms. This is fully automatic, and then down here is semi. So if you're ever being rushed by a bunch of people, just flick it down one, not all the way down, or else you're probably going to have a little bit of a harder time. But I usually use semi anyways, so I just have it pretty much always down here. And also worth noting is that when you have the fire selector down like this, some of the internal mechanisms are visible. I haven't dropped this in too much mud or dirt or anything to say how much that's affected it. Not that I would personally recommend it, of course, but just something to be mindful of. Also, another cool little detail, if you zoom in very close, is the fire selector actually has accurate Russian markings, which is a very nice touch. So let's get to the shooting.
Let's put a few more down range.
Want to try full auto?
Yeah, let's hit it with the full auto. I mean, for now you have a pretty tight, it's not super tight, but it looks like you're firing down and right a little bit, but that's okay.
Also, if I might add, on paper this thing says it shoots around 390 to 400 FPS, but that's measured with 0.2 gram BBs. I use 0.25, so I get a little lower. I usually average around 360 to 370 FPS, which for most purposes is more than enough. I know a lot of fields might have restrictions around like 400 for weapons like this, especially if it's capable of full auto. So just something to keep in mind. I mean, it's totally down to preference, but I think it works well enough as it is. I've been able to get some long range hits with it.
Alright, so... Alright, so here's the test at roughly 70 feet. I approximated. It's 70 feet, give or take. Alright, Woodstock, it's your turn.
Alright, now for a little full auto. This is going to be fun. A little more semi. I think I'm just about out.
Alright, whenever you're ready.
Okay, so as we can see here, I was definitely going up and to the right quite a bit. I do have a little bit of stormtrooper aim, if I might say so. But I actually got quite a few here in the middle. If I had to guess, that was probably at the 50 feet mark rather than the 70-75 range. But I mean, for the most part, I mean, if this were a person, still within the range of hitting them, so I suppose that's a plus. I've got no real complaints about it, so let's see if we can make another target, and we'll compare that with the stock Cyma M16 that Fourleaf has.
Hey everybody, Fourleaf here, and basically I'm just going to do a brief overview of my Cyma M16A1 before I let Woodstock do some of the shooting, just so the comparison would be accurate. So basically, out of the box, this thing was a pretty sweet deal. Ran about $150, and for anybody who's looking to do any sort of non-soft reenacting type thing, it's a great option because they're fairly cheap. I mean, by normal people standards. They're fairly cheap, and they're fairly durable. I have had one problem where the thing in the bolt broke that opens up the dust cover, but overall, I mean, the gun shoots great. I do have the 30 round mags I'd like to replace with a 20, but I mean, overall, it's a great gun. It's got plenty of space for batteries, so you could even store an extra battery in there, although it might be a little hard to get out. But I mean, everything here functions, or at least has the illusion of functioning, like the forward assist. Iron sights work fine. It shoots straight, and out of the box, this shoots roughly about, well, it claimed online to shoot about 400, 410 FPS, but what I found, although I do use 0.2 gram BBs, in chrono it consistently shot about 375, 370, which, I mean, I don't really have any complaints. At our field that we typically play at, the limit for an assault rifle is 400 feet per second. So really, I couldn't have any complaints. I mean, it's CYMA, but it's a solid gun. The only thing I have is that the handguard is a little creaky. You know, it's plastic. The buttstock is actually a pretty decent quality polymer, and the receiver is pretty solid aluminum. Let's get Woodstock behind the gun and shooting. As Woodstock so eloquently put it, hopefully this will be the last time that you see an East German holding an M16. I don't know about that, but, you know. So basically, we got a fresh target, although, I mean, they're kind of sad. It's a pizza box, but really all we're here to do is check the grouping, see how straight it'll shoot. So now, without further ado, Woodstock, there you go. Don't forget to switch your safety off.
Check the grouping on that.
Oh, it's pretty clean. I mean, it's you're shooting a little low and left, but let's see how that'll do on full auto. Yeah, so 50 feet, it looks like you're getting pretty decent groupings, just a little to the left. But now let's see how it's going to perform at 70, 75 feet. Alrighty, here we are at 70, 75 feet. Woodstock, here I go. See that full auto. Yeah, so I mean, you're still getting a pretty decent grouping, albeit a bit up and left. But then again, the wind is blowing pretty good here, and I am using pretty light BBs. But yeah, I think that concludes the accuracy test. We'll see you back in the garage. Hey everybody, we hope you enjoyed this video. It's well, there's hopefully more to come, but you know, being the circumstances of social distancing, we don't get to, you know, record stuff together or get any content very frequently. So hopefully soon throughout the course of the next couple weeks, you're going to be getting steady stream content from both of us. And well, stay tuned. I mean, I think I had a real good time filming this.
Oh yeah, and as I said, the Swit Airsoft AKM, it's fantastic.
Anything more you have to say?
No, I think we covered all the bases. Next, I think we should probably get to filming videos about our impressions here. So this is Fourleaf's Vietnam impression. Still very much work in progress.
It's far from complete. I know that what's wrong with it. You don't need to yell at me, please.
And as for me, this is my mostly complete East German impression. Still missing a few things, but we'll get to that.
Fatigues are expensive. Yeah, but I think that's about it for the both of us. We hope to see you guys again very, very soon, and we love you. Stay safe.
Stay healthy and stay hydrated. Sorry.
And nobody get COVID-19, but yeah, what he said, stay hydrated. This is a threat.